some things happened at our competitor that I want to speak about. And one of the guys who lost their jobs was Paul McCaffrey. And I'm going to let you get in here, Shasky, but I know him personally. Whenever I worked with him and on that morning show as a board-op-board producer, I always left with a smile on my face. They made me laugh. They treated me right. They taught me the ropes. And when you have an 18-year run together, that is legendary. Legendary. And, he had his way of doing radio, his soundboard, a lot, morning radio, that's what we grew up on. And he was a pioneer. Paul McCaffrey, I reached out to him, Shasky, and I'll share the text I sent to him, because I felt bad for him. But I sent him a text. I said, my heart goes out to you. You're one of my favorite people at that station. You always made me smile, and you were always supportive. I looked up to you and still do to this day. Anything I could do, feel free to reach out. You're an absolute effing legend, Paulie Mack.
Absolutely.
Happy holidays, man. And he reached back, and, I just feel bad, man. Christmas is around the corner. People are losing their jobs, and you never want to see that.
No.
You never want to see that. But Paulie Mack, Murph, those guys are one of one. They are. They truly are,
Absolutely.
man. And they were great people. Great people. And so I want to send my condolences, my support to Paulie Mack.
It was really well said, B. I love sports talk radio. That's what I grew up. I grew up driving around in the car with my dad, and my dad would have the truck going, and we'd be listening to sports talk radio. My dad was a plumber, and he would do all the side work, and this was all the side work that we needed to just get by, and he would have the radio everywhere. So I grew up on Pete Franklin, Radnich, and Barbieri. Mm-hmm. But when I think of combos, right?
Yeah.
Murph and Mack is the combo in this market in terms of longevity, excellence, what they symbolize with that Giants run, and how we all gravitated toward them. And all of my sports, radio love came through those guys' love of each other. Mm-hmm. And
they were best friends.
They really were. And you could feel it, right? Yep. It was seriously genuine and sincere. This industry, people always say, the industry sucks. And everything. We're having really hard time in this industry, evolving with the times. Whether it's cord cutting, whatever, everybody's trying to consolidate debt, and there's a lot of things that go on at a corporate level.
Right.
And we've seen it at this station. I have not been around as long as you. I was legitimately sick for those guys because they paved the way for people like you and me to have an opportunity.
Yep.
They were the gold standard, still are the gold standard, will always be the gold standard that I'm chasing, like not even on a competitive level, just like on an excellence level, and the countless hours of fun and laughter and passion on the teams, all that stuff, like they embody everything that's good about sports radio. And I love them both. And Brian Murphy, I see around town from time to time, is just a gentleman, a great dude who I look up to and reps his area better than anyone. And Paulie Mack, I've never met, but I feel like I know him because I listened like all of you guys did. And so my heart goes out to all those people. And it's just, it freaking sucks because they are, I don't know, man. They're the seminal combo on the West Coast in the morning.
When we started this morning show with K. Scott, one of the things for me about taking this slot was I didn't want to go up against them.
I know.
Because I had too much respect for them. And I didn't want to compete against them because they treated me like family. And, we had to compete. We had to go back and forth, and, it's a ratings business, and it's just, and all that stuff. But I really didn't want to do it. Part of it was, one, I didn't want to wake up early. But two,
which is true.
But two, I didn't want to go up against them because I had too much respect for them. And I knew that maybe they'll look at me differently because I'm on the other side going up against them. I knew I couldn't listen to them anymore. I knew that maybe they'll look at me a little differently here, but they never did. Paulie Mack never did. Murph never changed. And those guys are legends, man. It's a hell of a combination. They are the gold standard. You're right, Shasky, when it comes to combos. And an 18-year run in this business.
Unprecedented.
It's nothing to scoff at. People can laugh and, say we don't like that. Well, they had their shtick, and it worked. It worked for 18 years.
People love
They
him.
had the secret sauce.
Absolutely. And I'm not trying to compare ourselves to him, but if you and me had 1/5 the amount of success and love that they did throughout the tenure of their career, we did something right.
Yep.
That's how good they were.
No doubt.
You got to respect those who paved the way and who are the gold standard and will forever be the gold standard. And I know times change and all that stuff, but those dudes deserve the respect and the dignity and the class that they showed everyone else. And look, I used to call into their show, and they would throw me to the front of the line and take my call. Do you know how much I love those dudes?
Yeah, I worked with them,
and I never even met Paulie Mack.
I remember working as a board-out intern, and I'd be at a Warriors game, with a table, and I'd be giving out stickers for that station. Stickers.
That's crazy.
And I get a text from Jen Violet, the former assistant program director, who would give me credentials as a young buck, like, yo, Bonte, you work hard. Go get this. And to this day, Jen Violet, we still talk. I love her kids. I used to play with her kids, color with her kids at the station. And she'd be like, I need you to fill in on Murph. I need you to fill in on that show. And I knew, damn, I'm only going to get 3 hours of sleep. And I'm in my, single guy. I'm like, you know what? It's Murph and Mac.
Yeah.
I'll be there. The grind don't stop. I'll be there for those guys. And I made it a point to get there for them and to be part of their family. And so they would always talk about me. And, they became Tanika, who's longtime producer now at the Athletic Engineers and NBC. Kate Scott, who was always doing the updates. Pecan, Patrick Connor on the board. I mean, it was outside of working with Uncle Marty because he gave me a lot of run.
Yeah.
That was the show to work on. That was fun. That was radio. It was just non-stop laughs. And I'm going to miss that laugh from Paulie Mack. He had a sting. He had a shtick. He had a soundboard. And it was comedy. So those guys treated me like family. And they treated me like a little brotder. They always reached out after the show saying, hey, thank you so much for filling in. Yeah. Thank you so much. They always thanked me. They always made me feel good, whether it was golf tournaments. So shout out to those guys.
No, I'm glad you said that. I was with the boss, and I took him out to the Olympic Club. We had like a media day, and we were golfing, and we were a couple fairways over. And this just goes to speak about who Brian Murphy is, at least. And again, like I told you, I've seen him at a bunch of different events. Guy is just so nice to me, and he has no reason to be nice to me. You know what I mean? But that's who he is as a person. And we're 2 fairways over, and I go over. I see Paul Tonelli, right, from Lamont Tonelli, and we're talking because he knows my dad very well, and Brian Murphy comes on over, shakes our hands, gives me a big hug. I mean, that's who these guys are. And so, when I talk about being a real person and the internet's not real life, as I'm making videos to Philadelphia Eagle fans this morning, I want to be myself and be as genuine because that's what those guys did, and that's why they had the success
100%.
and the love that they did for as long as they did. Nothing lasts forever, but for them to do it as long as they did, no one will replicate that success.
Nah, nobody. 18 years in the game, man. So shout out to Paulie Mack.
And that was very well said.
And shout out to everybody who did lose their jobs, man. It can be easy, especially as we get into December. It's the beat of the football season. The Warrior season's heating up. The hot stove season is about to start in Major League Baseball. It already is. And so Christmas is around the corner. And so, it's got to be tough, man. So shout out to those guys, man. And shout out to Paulie Mack. I love you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And now we get done with the sappy stuff. But they deserve their respect.
Absolutely.
Despite us being a competitor, because 18 years is nothing to laugh at, man. Nothing to laugh at all. And I know those guys over there at the other station are probably hurting because they lost a family member. He was nothing but pure class, pure laughs, just a stand-up dude. Never said a bad word about anybody.
Yep.
I can't say a bad word about Paulie Mack because he was just that dude. So shout out to P-Mac, man. Hope you're well out there, man. Get some sleep, brother. At least that's one thing. You don't have to worry about waking up early no more. That's for sure.
You and I have been together 3 years on this show, probably about 5 overall when it comes to pre and post and everything. Yep. I want to kill you every week. I don't know how the hell they lasted 20 years together and legitimately love each other because there are days where I know you want to slap me across my face like yesterday. And then we go to the break and we're hugging and whatever, we come back. And there is a brotherly love, but this is a difficult grind.
Yeah.
I know people want to criticize us, and we're going to rip the crap out of Philadelphia and WIP, and I want to destroy them at every single turn. It's really hard to come up with unique, creative ways to do this and be fresh every day. 20 years?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just salute to them, to that station as a whole. I know Pepsi doesn't recognize Coke. Coke doesn't recognize, not me. I'm a real person, and I recognize excellence. They've been excellent forever, and they deserve the amount of appreciation that they have earned.
Yeah. No, I remember when I left there. When I left there, Jen Violet said, man, maybe one day you'll come back. But it's like one of our kids are going off to college.
Absolutely.
We're going to miss you, Bonte. And that's what they did. They hugged me on the way out and said, we're going to miss you, kid. We are going to miss you. And they were actually pissed. It's like, man, we wish we could have got this guy on the show. But, things happen, man.
Now,
anyway,
on the way out there, as we get geared up for the game.